All right, everyone, let's talk about something most of us encounter daily, but rarely think about in depth: traffic signals and the technology behind them. Specifically, I want to introduce you to the Yunex Traffic M60. Now, I know traffic controllers might not sound like the most thrilling topic, but the M60 is a game changer for cities around the world. It's not just about changing lights from red to green, it's about revolutionizing how we manage traffic in the modern age. Stick with me, and by the end of this, you'll realize just how vital this technology is in making our cities smarter, safer, and more efficient. Let's start with what the Yunex Traffic M60 actually is. At its core, it's a traffic signal controller, the brains behind those traffic lights you see at intersections. But calling it just a traffic signal controller doesn't do it justice. It's more like a central nervous system for urban traffic management. Imagine a conductor directing an orchestra of cars, pedestrians, cyclists, and even emergency vehicles, ensuring everyone moves smoothly, safely, and on time. The M60 does that, but it's not conducting a classical symphony. It's managing the chaotic, ever-changing flow of urban traffic in real time. You see, traffic control systems used to be relatively simple. They worked on timers or pre-programmed sequences, but they didn't have the intelligence to adapt to what was happening on the streets. They'd switch lights regardless of whether there was heavy traffic or not. The result? Traffic jams, frustrated drivers, and wasted fuel. Now, the M60 changes the game by being smart and adaptable. It doesn't just follow a set program, it reacts to what's happening on the road in real time. Let me explain how. Linux-based power and modular design. The M60 runs on a Linux-based operating system, which is key to its flexibility and robustness. Now, some of you techies in the audience might know that Linux is one of the most stable and secure operating systems out there, and that's exactly why it's perfect for critical infrastructure like traffic management. The M60 can handle massive amounts of data, process it quickly, and do it all without crashing. And that's crucial when we're talking about systems that manage something as vital as road safety. This controller is also modular, meaning it's built in a way that allows for easy upgrades and expansions. It's like building with Lego blocks. You can add new features or upgrade components as needed without having to tear the whole thing apart. Cities don't have to replace their entire system when technology advances. Instead, they can just upgrade pieces of it. That's a huge cost saver, especially for municipalities that are operating on tight budgets. Adaptive traffic control. Now, what really sets the M60 apart is its ability to adapt to the flow of traffic. Picture this. You're driving through a busy city center during rush hour. You've probably been stuck at a red light with no cross traffic in sight, right? It's frustrating, inefficient, and bad for the environment because all those idling cars are just burning fuel. The M60's software, called CPAC, can prevent this from happening. How? By using adaptive traffic signal control. With adaptive control, the M60 monitors real-time traffic conditions and adjusts the timing of the lights accordingly. If it detects a heavy flow of cars in one direction, it can extend the green light to allow more vehicles through. If there's a lull, it shortens the green or even skips phases to keep traffic moving smoothly. It's like having a super smart traffic cop at every intersection who knows exactly how to get everyone where they're going as quickly as possible. This system can reduce traffic congestion by up to 40% in some cases. That's less time sitting in traffic, less fuel wasted, and fewer emissions polluting our air. Emergency vehicle preemption. Now let's talk about a feature that can literally save lives. Emergency vehicle preemption. When an ambulance, fire truck, or police car is racing to an emergency, every second counts. The M60 can detect when an emergency vehicle is approaching an intersection and automatically change the lights to give that vehicle the right of way. This reduces response times and helps emergency services get to where they need to be faster. Think about it. That could mean the difference between life and death in some situations. Imagine a fire truck rushing through a busy intersection. Instead of getting stuck in traffic, the M60 has already turned the light green for them, clearing the way. This system is incredibly effective at ensuring that emergency vehicles don't get held up by regular traffic, and that makes all of us safer. Transit signal priority. The M60 also helps make public transportation more efficient through something called transit signal priority. Public transit systems, like buses and trams, are often slowed down by having to stop at red lights just like everyone else. But with transit signal priority, the M60 can detect when a bus or tram is approaching and give it a green light, helping it stay on schedule. In cities that rely heavily on public transit, this can be a game changer. Imagine you're on a bus trying to get across town. Thanks to the M60, that bus can get green lights more often, cutting down on travel time and making public transport a more reliable option for commuters. That's not just good for riders. It's good for the city as a whole. More people using public transport means fewer cars on the road, which means less traffic congestion and fewer emissions. It's a win-win. Real-time data and remote management. Now let's get into one of the coolest aspects of the M60, its ability to communicate in real time with traffic management centers. This thing is constantly collecting data, everything from traffic volume to vehicle speeds to pedestrian counts. And all of that information is sent back to a central system where traffic engineers can monitor what's happening on the streets. They can then use that data to make immediate adjustments or to plan for long-term improvements. For example, if there's a sudden spike in traffic on a particular route due to an accident or a big event, traffic managers can adjust signal timings remotely to help alleviate congestion. Or if they notice over time that a certain intersection consistently backs up at a specific time of day, they can tweak the settings to address that issue going forward. It's all about making traffic flow more smoothly and efficiently, and the M60 provides the tools to do that. Pedestrian and cyclist safety. But it's not just vehicles that the M60 is concerned with. Pedestrian safety is a growing priority in cities around the world, and the M60 has some fantastic features to address this. For example, it can be programmed to give pedestrians more time to cross the street during peak hours, or it can implement something called a leading pedestrian interval. This means that the walk signal comes on a few seconds before the green light, giving pedestrians a head start before vehicles start moving. This simple feature can significantly reduce the chances of accidents between pedestrians and turning vehicles. Cyclists benefit too. With more cities pushing for bike-friendly infrastructure, the M60 can integrate with bike sensors to give cyclists the green light when they approach intersections. This makes the road safer and more predictable for everyone. Smart city integration. Now let's zoom out a bit and talk about how the M60 fits into the bigger picture of smart city technology. Smart cities are all about using data and technology to make urban areas more livable, sustainable, and efficient. The M60 is a perfect example of this in action. By gathering and analyzing traffic data, cities can optimize their transportation systems, reduce emissions, and improve the quality of life for residents. Imagine a city where traffic lights aren't just controlled individually, but as part of a larger, integrated system that works together to ensure the smoothest possible flow of traffic across the entire city. The M60 is a building block for that kind of future. It's not just managing one intersection, it's part of a connected network that uses real-time data to make intelligent decisions about traffic flow. So, why does all of this matter? Well, traffic might seem like just an everyday annoyance, but when you think about the big picture, the millions of hours wasted in traffic, the billions of gallons of fuel burned while idling, the increased risks to pedestrians and cyclists, it becomes clear that improving our traffic systems is crucial. The Yunex Traffic M60 is at the forefront of that effort, using cutting-edge technology to make our streets safer, our commutes shorter, and our cities more sustainable. The future of traffic management is here, and the M60 is leading the charge. It's not just a traffic signal controller, it's a key part of the smart cities that will define our future. So the next time you're at an intersection and the light changes just in time to let you through, or you notice that emergency vehicle speeding safely through traffic, take a second to appreciate the technology behind it. The M60 might just be making your day a little bit better,